Hello and welcome to The Backbone, the podcast where common sense still makes sense. I'm your host, The Backbone. Gentlemen, it is sick out there and getting sicker. Today, we're going to talk about Bill Maher and his visit to the White House to meet with President Donald Trump. And we're going to hear what Bill Maher has to say from his own words. We're going to use his dialogue from his show, his monologue from his show for informational purposes. And then we're going to chime in about how Maher handled it, how Trump, more importantly, how Trump handled it. And that's what the Mann memo is going to be about. And we're going to see who won in this meeting, who outmanned who evolved, who showed that they are the stronger, internally stronger man here. I think we all know who is, but we're going to give old Billy a shot. Here he is. And let's give Bill Maher his opportunity to speak. Bill Maher on his visit to Washington.
As you know, 12 days ago, I had dinner with President Trump, a dinner that was set up by my friend Kid Rock, because we share a belief that there's got to be something better than hurling insults from 3,000 miles away. And let me first say that to all the people who treated this like it was some kind of summit meeting, you're ridiculous. Like I was going to sign a treaty or something. I have no power. I'm a fucking comedian, and he's the most powerful leader in the world. I'm not the leader of anything, except maybe a contingent of centrist-minded people who think there's got to be a better way of running this country.
So Maher starts off by deflecting, saying, hey, I'm not a powerful guy. I'm just a comedian, which is true. I mean, we shouldn't be taking his opinion seriously. He's just a left-wing lunatic nut who tries to be funny. Sometimes he could be funny sometimes, but then we'll keep going.
Than hating each other every minute. So, thank you. So, okay, so meet up in person. Maybe it'll be different. Spoiler alert, it was. First good sign, before I left for the Capitol, I had my staff collect and print out this list of almost 60 different insulting epithets that the president has said about me. Things like stupid, dummy, lowlife dummy, sleazebag, sick, sad, stone cold crazy. Really a dumb guy, fired like a dog, his show is dead. There's 60. I brought this to the White House because I wanted him to sign it, which he did. Which he did with good humor. And I know as I say that, millions of liberal sphincters just tightened. Oh my God, Bill, are you going to say something nice about him? What I'm going to do is report exactly what happened. You decide what you think about it. And if that's not enough pure Trump hate for you, I don't give a fuck. Yeah. So no, I didn't go MAGA. And to the president's credit, there was no pressure to. After we left the Oval Office, he showed me the little room off the office, you know, the one where Clinton used to. Okay. The blowjob room. Okay. Well, not anymore. That's where they keep the merch now. It is. And he gave me a bunch of hats, but he didn't ask me to take a picture in one, which I appreciated. The guy I met is not the person who the night before the dinner shit-tweeted a bunch of nasty crap about how he thought this dinner was a bad idea and what a deranged asshole I was. I read it and thought, oh, what a lovely way to welcome someone to your house. But when I got there, that guy wasn't living there. Now, does Trump want respect? Of course, who doesn't? My friend said to me, "What are you going to wear to the White House?" I said, "I don't know, but I'm not going to dress like Zelensky, I'll tell you that." But, okay. Just for starters, he laughs. I'd never seen him laugh in public, but he does, including at himself. And it's not fake. Believe me, as a comedian of 40 years, I know a fake laugh when I hear it. And I thank you for them. No. Okay, example. In the Oval Office, he was showing me the portraits of presidents, and he pointed to Reagan and said, in all seriousness, "You know, the best thing about him, his hair." I said, "Well, there was also that whole bringing down communism thing, waiting for the button next to the Diet Coke button to get pushed and I go through the trap door." But no, he laughed, he got it. I said to him at one point, "Mr. President, you know the dog, that's unusual in the White House." He said, "Well, a lot of the presidents, they had a dog for political reasons." I said, "No, people love dogs, that's what that is." "Oh yeah, okay, that's true." I'm telling you what happened. At one point, we were walking through it is an amazing tour of the whole house. And I don't remember exactly what we were talking about, but it must have been something with the 2020 election, because I know he used the word lost. And I distinctly remember saying, "Wow, I never thought I'd hear you say that." He didn't get mad. He's much more self-aware than he lets on in public. Look, I get it. It doesn't matter who he is at a private dinner with a comedian. It matters.
So it sounds like Billy is in shock that the president was charming, and Trump did the right thing. He could have been, he could have abused his status and his position there, and made Bill look small, but he didn't. He used something called humility. He was a perfect host. He was welcoming. He was generous. He invited the man into his home, into the White House. And he acted like a perfect gentleman. And he gave Bill Maher nothing, absolutely nothing to use against him. This Bill Maher is gushing here. I mean, you're seeing a guy in his 60s who is, he's in love. He's glazing the president. This goes to show you how powerful men, smart, powerful men, use their power. They use their aura, they use their charm. This was he totally weaponized his charm to, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? To neuter Bill Maher. Bill Maher's a little boy, going walking through the White House on a tour. I don't like the fact that Kid Rock has a hat on inside. That's not manly at all. But Trump, so far, has dominated this visit with one thing: his charm. Something that Bill Maher maybe wants to learn from, because this is how a man acts when he has somebody in his home.
Matters who he is on the world stage. I'm just taking as a positive that this person exists, because everything I've ever not liked about him was, I swear to God, absent, at least on this night with this guy. Bob, Kid Rock, told me the night before, he said, if you want to get a word in edgewise, you're going to have to cut him off. He'll just go on. Not at all. I've had so many conversations with prominent people who are much less connected, people who don't look you in the eye, people who don't really listen because they just want to get to their next thing, people whose response to things you say just doesn't track, like, what? None of that with him. And he mostly steered the conversation to, what do you think about this? I know, your mind is blown, so's mine. There were so many moments when I hit him with a joke or contradicted something, and no problem. At dinner, He was asking me about the nuclear situation in Iran in a very genuine, hey, I think you're a smart guy. I want your opinion sort of way. And I said, well, obviously you're privy to things about it. I'm not, but for what it's worth, I thought the Obama deal was worth letting play out because we made Iran destroy 98% of the uranium and they were 15 years away from a bomb. And then I said to him, but we got rid of that. You got rid of that. He didn't get mad or call me a left-wing lunatic. He took it in. I told him I thought parts of his plan for Gaza were wacky.
So Trump, tomorrow or maybe the next day, the day after, I'm going to do a podcast or a video, a reaction to Douglas Murray. He's been in the news because of his pompous nature. Trump could have easily have said here, because he's president, hey, I know more than you about this. You know nothing. You're just a comedian. I'm an expert. But he didn't. He wanted to sit down with this guy and get his honest opinion about stuff. If you sat down across the table from Bill Maher and had an opinion about comedy or entertainment, you think Bill would be this receptive? I don't think so. It takes a very strong, confident, balanced, evolved man to be able to sit there and say, "Hey, what's your opinion about this?" That person may not have a clue of what's going on, but at least Trump wanted to hear him out, hear what he had to say. He probably went in one ear out the other, but to give the man the courtesy of, "Hey, what's your thoughts about this? I'm interested." It's common courtesy, and it's something that people from a certain political party, maybe both political parties, they don't